nephews, lock in. A lot of men spend their lives looking for answers that they already have. Not because they're stupid, not because they're weak, because the truth is uncomfortable. The truth asks something from you. The truth, well, it demands a decision. A lot of people would rather stay confused than do what they already know needs to be done. And that's why one of the most important skills a man can develop is emotional control. Not controlling other people, not controlling women, not controlling outcomes. I'm talking about controlling himself. Because when your emotions are driving the car, you'll talk yourself out of reality every single time. You'll ignore red flags. You'll make excuses. You'll stay too long. You'll convince yourself tomorrow will be different when today already showed you everything you already need to know. The Conqueror's Code teaches you something different. A man becomes powerful when he learns to see reality clearly and respond to it correctly. Not react. I'm talking respond. And that's where growth lives. That's where peace lives. And that's where manhood starts. Now, tonight, we're going to talk about some uncomfortable truths, some hard lessons, and some real game that can help make you a stronger man than you were yesterday. Now, if our phone lines are open, drop your questions in the chat. Email Uncle Johnny if you want to get on next week's show. Send us smoke signals. Send me a kite if you need to. And if you're really down bad, put SOS in the comments and we'll come find you. Lock in, nephews. It's time for Ask Your Favorite Uncles. My name is William. I'm your certified uncle tonight. Johnny, go ahead and introduce yourself for everybody watching. Johnny, your mic's muted. Yep, you're on mute, big dog.
I do that every time. So I'm Johnny Dumbbell. I'm your no BS personal trainer and life coach out here in beautiful Pittsburgh, where, by the way, I got a new bike over here. This is my new ride. It's a 1976 vintage 10-speed. Listen, tonight, we're going to be talking a little bit about quirks and whether or not you should show them when you're in the dating world. Now, some of us are nerds when it comes to video games. Some of us are nerds when it comes to comic books. Some of us are real nerds about the Romans and Julius Caesar in particular. And some of us are real nerds about Grand Theft Auto because it's the only online GTA game we've had to play for the last 13 fucking years. But the point is, that your quirks are things that you love. They are things that make you you, and they are things that you can be passionate about. They are certainly not things that you should hide when it comes to sharing the best part about yourself that you like about yourself. And that's why I'm here to tell you guys that that would be a mistake just about as bad as the ones that your Uncle Bill and I have made in our youth. Mistakes when it came to mindset, dating, relationships, self-confidence, self-awareness, self-love, self-respect. For the love of God, if you are thinking of doing something and it sounds crazy, it sounds a little bit erratic, and it sounds like it might compromise your principles as it relates to any of the things I just mentioned, for the love of God, do yourself a favor and leave it in the live chat. Shoot us an email. Call in. If it's an emergency, guys, and it's a decision you got to make tonight, call in. We'll help you make it. But for the love of God, think before you act. We have made every mistake that middle-aged men could make by the time we've reached middle age. We are the uncles the entire family has stories about from their own perspective. And while we are not proud of those stories, we are proud of the men that we became after the lessons learned from the outcomes of those stories the hard way. I guess the best way to put it is we screwed up so you don't have to. Now, tune in and pay attention. Here we go.
All right, nephews, our phone lines are open. Call us with your questions. Write Uncle Johnny to get on next week's show. What are we working with tonight, Johnny? Let's get to work.
Man, we got Frank, and Frank is having a problem, man. So Frank goes, I found out that my wife cheated on me. He says, I don't know how to start this, but I guess I'm just going to give context. My wife, I met her my senior year of high school. I've been married to her for 1 year and dated her for 2.5. My best friend, whom I've also known since first grade, and whom I thought I could trust, After high school, I bought her a camper trailer so she could move out of her parents' house. Everybody make a mental note of that. Because I was working in, I can't remember what city he said he's from, but he's about 3 hours from Houston, and he couldn't make the 3 hour drive every single day. Because of my hours, she was living there by herself for a bit over a half a year, and in that time, she felt lonely. I think we all know where this is going. And I thought that I had a friend that I could trust, so I asked him to go check on my girl. I guess he did more than just check on my girl. Fast forward to this past Saturday. I'm sorry, Saturday before last, and we were doing a psychedelic fungus. And out of nowhere, she confesses that she had fun time with him. I don't know if he actually says, I don't know if kicking her out is the right option because I would have to buy a plane ticket to Florida because that's where her family is. She's kind of financially dependent off of me, so she can't buy her own ticket. I guess what I'm asking is what do I do in my situation? I'll try my best to answer all the questions I can. Franklin, whatever your full name is, you need me to say your full name and explain to you that you owe this woman who has depended on you financially for the last however long and still decided she was going to let somebody else in between them loins. You owe her nothing. You owe her nothing. For all you care, she could walk back. Uncle Bill, maybe I'm overreacting, Uncle Bill. Maybe I'm wrong.
Johnny, you did say wife, correct? I heard that right?
I did. I sure did.
I do. Death do us part. Like I got that part right. Okay, nephew, before we talk about your wife, before we talk about your best friend,
Yikes.
before we talk about that divorce, I need you to understand something. Your life changed in one conversation. And when life changes in one conversation, a lot of men make the mistake of trying to fix everything in one day.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Because look, right now you're hurt, you're angry, you're betrayed, you're embarrassed. You're probably questioning your marriage, or you should be. You're questioning your friendship. Hell, you're probably questioning your own judgment at this point. And I got to tell you, that's normal. What isn't normal is making permanent decisions where you're emotionally compromised. See, a lot of men, they think strength means reacting immediately. No, strength means slowing down when everyone else is speeding up.
We got a comment from Major Blaze here.
Pain creates urgency. 1 second here. What's Mr. Blaze say? I want to keep the chat involved.
I don't have my glasses.
All right, he says, I doubt she slept with his friend, probably trying to get a reaction out of him to see if he cares.
I don't know, man. I think if you're going to come and bring something, I mean, get a reaction out of him. Maybe she flirts with somebody or talks about somebody else flirting with her. I don't think you go and bang some other dude, or at least I don't even think you go and lie about banging some other dude if all you want is attention, though. I mean, that seems a little overboard to me. And the fact of the matter is even if it is overboard, even if she is exaggerating, I would say that's even more reason to walk away, because now this chick is actually using mind games and mental torture to try to get the upper hand, or I don't even care what her reasoning is. If she's going to go ahead and say she did something like that, if she didn't, I mean, either way, this is somebody who's using a manipulative tactic. And I mean, you might be right, but even if you are, I got to tell you, he's in the wrong situation.
Well, look, right now he has his pain screaming at him, and I'll tell you, nephew, pain wants revenge. Pain, it wants answers. Pain wants somebody to pay for what happened.
He's not going that far. But here's the thing, Uncle Bill. He's not going that far. He's still contemplating whether or not he should keep her around. He's actually not sure whether or not to get rid of this woman. There shouldn't be a question in your mind. This person not only violated the sanctity of what you guys had together, she lacked the respect for you to even give that a thought before it went in. And if Major Blaze is telling the truth, and if Major Blaze is right, the fact of the matter is now, if she didn't do it, she's really trying to gain the upper hand, or really trying to gain that mental control over you, because she wants you to believe that you have to compete now.
Let's start with the hard truth. Your wife already made her decision. Your best friend also already made his decision. The only decision left is yours. Because right now you're focused on what they did. The real question is, what are you gonna do? And before anybody in the chat starts yelling divorce her, let me ask the nephew something. How many of you have ever made a major decision while you're angry? How many of you ever sent a text that you later regret? Regret? Or I'll even do you one better, nephews. How many of you quit a job that later you wish you didn't? You wish you had kept it?
Bruh.
Yeah, I mean, I got to tell you, this whole story really, when he asked his friend to look out for her, this really sounds like how a lot of adult films begin. I mean, like, if you think about it, if you go on to P-Hub right now, I guarantee you, if you type that very sentence in, you're going to see a whole slew of videos come up. I've heard.
All right, nephew.
Yeah.
All right, I want you to understand. I understand how you feel.
That's full stop.
You're angry, you're upset, but feelings change. And that's why emotional control matters. Because emotions, they're temporary, but the consequences of your decisions, they're not. Let's talk about trust for a minute, Johnny, shall we? Because everyone thinks that this is a cheating story. I don't. I think that this is a trust story. And your wife broke your trust. Your friend broke your trust. But here's the lesson for every nephew watching. Trust is not something you give once. Trust is something people continually earn through their behavior. And when that behavior changes, your assessment should change too.
And listen, if that weren't true,
nephews, that's wisdom.
If that weren't true, your credit rating wouldn't mean shit.
Hey, Donnie, let me ask you something. How many times have you seen people ignore evidence because they didn't like what it meant for them?
Dude, I've seen people run right back to that person knowing full well what they were doing and why and how. It's insane.
I just don't understand.
Some of these people are just too happy to be there, you know?
I don't understand how people argue with reality when reality has already spoken. And look, Johnny, from a gym perspective, how many people quit because they let one emotional moment determine long-term decisions?
Yeah, I mean, that's actually a really common thing now. I have noticed that people with a trainer are less likely to do that. But the problem is most of the people in the gym haven't sought that kind of confidence and that kind of support from anybody, and probably aren't getting it at home either. And yeah, they're the ones that are most likely to be gone. If they're New Year's resolutioners, they're the ones most likely to be gone by Valentine's Day. And look, if you're one of those folks, get a hold of me, Johnny Dumbbell Fitness on YouTube. Shoot me an email, whatever it happens to be, because, you know, the whole motivation thing, that's generally what we do here. I've got the science down to a science, but I've got the art of motivation down to a science as well. Let me know.
Johnny, I think that's what we're really talking about tonight. I think this is where what he needs help with is decision making.
Yeah.
Because it's not when life is easy. It's not.
I don't even really think he has a problem with decision making. You know what I think he has a problem with? Knowing what decision he needs to make, making that decision, and sticking to it. That's what I think he's got a problem with.
Well, let's talk about his next move.
He knows what he's got to do.
He knows what he's got to do. Let's talk about the next move. Not a year from now, not a month from now. I'm talking this week. No revenge, no dramatic speeches, no destroying somebody's property, no trying to hurt people because you're hurt. Gather information, take a breath, talk to an attorney if divorce is even on the table. I don't know. And figure out what you want before you worry about what she wants. Whatever path you choose, please choose it because it aligns with your values, not because it satisfies your anger. Here's some real game for you, nephews. One of the most dangerous moments in a man's life is immediately after betrayal, because pain convinces you that action and progress are the same thing. They aren't. Sometimes the strongest move is slowing down long enough to think clearly. Because once you make a decision, you have to live with it long after that emotion that created it is gone. And that's the lesson, not just for Frank, but for every man watching. Life doesn't test your character when things are going well. Life tests your character when you have every reason to lose control. And that's where manhood begins.
And young men, let me just ask you a question. When you've made decisions in your life based on logic and reasoning, and then you've made decisions in your life based on your feelings or your emotions, I really want you to think back on those decisions if you can remember. And I really want you to compare how were the results of the times you made a logical decision and how were the results of a time you made an emotional decision. I mean, be honest with yourself when you answer that question. I don't care if you answer me, but if you want to, answer it in the live chat, but answer yourself that one. Frank, I got to tell you,
our phone lines are open. Put your questions in the chat. We're going to be on for about at least another half hour.
Yeah, Frank, I think your situation is cooked, man. I wish you all the best luck. I'm going to be in touch. You are getting a copy of the Johnny Dumbbell Challenge, and I expect you to use that to your advantage when it comes to improving your situation and ultimately your day-to-day life.
Thanks for writing in. We appreciate that. Chance to answer this question. Nephews, when you guys write in and you give us a chance to answer your questions, you're actually helping out other people, because we guarantee there are other people that watch our content, that come across our content, that find it, and they're struggling with the same exact things you are.
And your comments and your questions and your concerns that you leave in the live chat could be just as helpful to them as anything we could say. You never know.
Or your support when they're going through some rough times as well.
Yep, absolutely. And if you're in the Pittsburgh area, hey, buy your uncle a protein shake sometime. Anyway.
What we got next, Tony?
We got question 2 from Nick. Let's see. He says, what do I even make of her texting habits? Oh, boy. Here's this.
Okay.
Okay, so before I even saw his age, I knew he was like 20, 21. That was right. There's this girl that I've gone on 4 dates with in the last month. Ooh, that's like once every 8 days, right? Every one of them lasted 3.
As long as it's around his schedule and he's dictating the terms, shout out to him. She's been out with him 4 times.
Well, Uncle Bill, I got to tell you, your congratulations might be a little premature on that one, because this is every one of them lasted 3 to 5 hours. We made out heavily at the end of date 3. She initiated. Woo. At the end of date 4, we parted ways. At the end of date 4, we parted with just a hug. So we went from making out on date 3 to like a sisterly hug on date 4 is what it sounds like. And here's what I want to point out. The next thing he says, it was a movie date, and we talked for about 10 minutes in the parking lot afterward, where we made future plans to hang out again. The thing that bothers me the most is that she never really texts in between dates. Even if I try to check in and ask random stuff, she only ever responds to texts if it involves planning something for a future meetup. I really like her, but also feel like I'm getting mixed signals. Are some people genuinely like this? How hard would it be to spend a minute of her day responding to something if she genuinely liked me back? That is the question you should have asked at the very, very beginning of this email. Uncle Bill, what do you think?
Honestly, this isn't a texting problem. This is an emotional control problem. And before the chat grabs their pitchforks and starts screaming, she's not interested, let's actually look at the evidence here.
I mean, she's not.
The biggest mistakes that men make in dating is they stop looking at what's happening and they start focusing on what they're afraid of happening. All right, so let's review the facts. All right, you've been on 4 dates, not one, not two, but 4. And each date lasted several hours. You made out with her. She initiated it. She's making future plans. She's showing up. And yet you're losing sleep over text messages?
Dude, first of all, three
See the
to 5
problem.
hours. 3 to 5 hours should have involved fun time and maybe even a post-cardio snack.
Okay, you're measuring attraction with the wrong ruler. Give me a second here. Major Blaze says, if you get mixed signals, take no action.
I mean, yeah. The thing of it is, if she's hot and cold, that's called lukewarm. I don't like lukewarm anything.
A lot of men think attraction is measured through communication. No, attraction is measured through investment. Who's making time? Who's showing up? Who's participating? Who's continuing to move things forward? Because here's some real game for you. People make time for what matters to them. And right now,
And they
she's
will
making
move
time
mountains
for
to make
you.
sure it happens.
The problem is she's not making time in the exact way that you want. All right, now let me ask the chat something. How many people here know somebody who never answers text? Drop a 1 in the chat if you do, because we've all met them. They'll leave you on red for 3 days. All right, they'll spend 6 straight hours hanging out with you. So some people communicate differently. Now, does that automatically mean she's interested? No. But it also doesn't automatically mean she's losing interest. And that's where emotional control comes into play. Because
Big Bliss says
emotional
one.
men need constant reassurance, and grounded men observe patterns. Write that down, nephew. Emotional men need constant reassurance. Grounded men observe patterns. Nick, you're trying to solve
And
a future
respond
problem
accordingly,
with
yes.
anxiety. Johnny, I think he's asking, what if she doesn't like me?
Yep.
What if she's losing interest? What if I'm getting mixed signals? But reality,
He's not asking that. He already knows it. He just wants us to tell him he's wrong. That's what I think Nick wants her. He wants us to say, oh, no, man, it's probably this or that. No, dude. She doesn't text between dates. She texts when she wants to see you. Ergo, when she's broke, when she's hungry, when she's bored, that's when you're going to get responses. This girl is not texting you to say, hey, I heard this song and it made me think of you. She's not texting you that. She's not texting, hey, I had a smoothie today and it reminded me of something we did on a previous date. No, whatever it was. I mean, you're not getting those texts. You're getting those, yeah, sure, I'll go out with you and go to dinner, at 7 on Friday. Had me home by 9 for the guy I actually like.
But she keeps making plans with him, so I don't know why he's ignoring that evidence. It's because certainty
He's not
feels
ignoring
better
it.
than uncertainty.
I got to tell you, I don't think he's ignoring it. I think he sees what's happening, and he wants us to tell him that that's not what's happening. I think he wants to be wrong. Look, I've been in many situations in life where I wanted to be wrong, and I think that's what's happening here. He wants us to be like, no, man, it's not what you're thinking. It's this or that, and it's not. And if he's watched the show, he knows we're not going to give him that kind of hope.
I think you're wrong. And that's just because I've had a lot of interactions with women where the only time I talk to them is where we have some adult fun. And I say, look, hey, that was great. Let me know when you're ready to do that again. What the hell am I talking and texting to them and spending all this time with them? I'll talk to them when it's time to do that again. Now, I think
right, but you're referring to casual relationships, and I think he's trying to take it further than that. That's what I think's happening. Because remember, he doesn't care whether or not she'll sleep with him again. He cares whether or not she likes him and wants to talk to him. He's griping about text messages, not how often they meet up.
Johnny, the bigger issue here is that he is requiring constant proof from her to feel secure.
Right, which means he's not doing the casual thing like you're describing. He really wants to take things further.
He is going to suffocate good situations.
Yeah.
It's not because the other person did something wrong, because no amount of reassurance is good enough for an insecure mind. All right, let me ask you this. How many people have you seen create problems that didn't actually exist just because they were overthinking?
Either that or just for the sake of solving them.
Right now, Johnny.
Yep.
He's trying to solve a mystery that may or may not even be a mystery. And
He may even be overblowing her attraction to him.
And I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm not saying you're right. I'm saying that, well, let me ask you this. From your experiences, how many people sabotage progress just because they need immediate results instead of trusting the process?
Well, and that's just it. They don't have not only that, but he has no process to follow. He wants this girl to be head over heels and texting him random shit every day when they've been out 4 times and known each other less than 30 days.
Well, okay, so that's the real lesson here then. Patience. A lot of men want relationship certainty after 4 dates. Like you said, Johnny, 4 dates. Some people don't even know what they want for dinner. And you're asking a
But at the same time, he's getting hot and cold responses, but he's continuing to throw his time and his money into it.
All right. I would tell him to slow down and just let reality reveal itself. And here's the hard truth. She's giving you access. You're demanding reassurance, and those are not the same thing. In my opinion, she's investing. You're monitoring. She's participating, sir. You're analyzing, and these are very different activities. So what's the next move? Simple. Stop tracking text messages like they're stock prices. Continue to date her. Continue observing. Continue allowing her actions to speak for themselves. Shout out to Johnny Dumbbell. Bottom line, her actions.
Exactly.
And over the next
or
month,
inaction,
you'll get your answer. Not because you forced it, because reality always reveals itself. And that's the lesson, not just for Nick, but for every nephew watching. A lot of men don't lose women because women lose interest. They lose women because their need for certainty becomes more attractive than their confidence. And confidence isn't knowing the answer. Confidence is being okay while the answer reveals itself.
We got another comment from Major Blaze. I think we want to touch on this one.
Yeah, let's see. I blew up my most recent process with a woman, knew her for 2 years. She was hot and cold. I had enough of it.
Yeah, but see, and that's what I'm saying. Now, see, Major Blaze saw the writing on the wall and said, look, hot and cold doesn't mean hot. Hot and cold barely means warm. And look, like I said, I don't like my coffee lukewarm and I don't like my beer lukewarm. Doesn't matter which they, I mean, if it's meant to be hot, if it's meant to be cold, let it be either one. But yeah, when it's warm, it's cold.
Hold on a second, Johnny. I apologize. I'm doing 2 things at once. TikTok, we're live over on YouTube. If you want to join the rest of the, hey, appreciate it.
And while you're here, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. By the way, if you guys are enjoying the podcast tonight, if you're entertained, laugh, cry, think it's great, think it's wrong, think it's stupid, hey, give us a comment, leave us a like, subscribe. I'm telling you, we got all kinds of entertaining content heading your way soon.
Major says, I wanted consistency and wasn't seeing it. Respectfully, she's not consistent in her life in general.
And that's exactly it. So this is a person who needs consistency from you, not because she looks for that quality in a man, but because she lacks it herself and is hoping that you have enough for the both of you. No, screw that. You don't deserve that.
All right, well, let's talk about hot and cold behavior for a second. Because a lot of men think that hot and cold behavior is confusing, and it's not. Your reaction to it is what's confusing. So when somebody is hot and cold, most men immediately become detectives. What happened? What changed? What did I say something wrong? Is
Bad
someone
detectives,
else
by the way.
involved? And long, before you know it, Johnny, they're spending more time analyzing what's going on than observing. Hot and cold behavior is information. It's not a mystery. It's information. Because whether it's intentional or not, it's showing you something important. Consistency is a choice. Effort is a choice. Communication is a choice. Showing up is a choice. And when somebody only shows up sometimes, that tells you something. And now here's where men get themselves in trouble. They start focusing on the reason. Wrong question. The reason doesn't matter nearly as much as the pattern. All right, let me give you an example here.
More importantly, your response.
If I told you a stove burns your hand every Tuesday, would you spend the next 6 months researching why the stove is hot?
Bruh.
Or would you simply just stop touching it?
Maybe just go sushi on Tuesdays.
Yeah, most men, they become relationship scientists. Your job isn't to explain every behavior. Your job is to decide what behavior you're willing to accept. And that's self-respect. And shout out to Major Blaze for having some self-respect. And that's a lot. And really, that's the part that nobody wants to hear, Johnny. Hot and cold behavior is only powerful if you're emotionally dependent on the outcome. If your happiness depends on whether somebody else texts you back, calls you, validates you, chooses you, then every change in their behavior feels like an emergency. But if you're grounded, if you're focused on your purpose, if your life is moving forward regardless, then hot, cold behavior becomes what it actually is: data, not drama. And that's why emotional control matters, because emotionally reactive men, they chase hot, cold behavior. Grounded men,
dude,
we evaluate it.
That's the red flag we chase the most, dude.
One becomes
and it's easy. It's easy to chase that because it's not overtly abusive. It's not overtly toxic. And it's not even intentionally toxic. It's just something that your competitive instinct got activated. And so now you're in this competition with some phantom that even she's probably not even aware of because you made it up in your head. We talked about this last week when I talked about manufacturing attraction. You know, just because you have this vision of who you think she is and how you think she's going to respond and how she should. And then when reality hits you, it hits you hard. And then we hear you write into us, calling to us, asking why this always happens to you. My nephew, rather. You wrote a storyline and followed it, and she wasn't there at the end.
All right, nephew. Now, the only part you've said so far that I got a little problem with is this part. Threw me out of her home. As a man, you should always have your own crib so you don't have to worry about stuff like that. Yeah. Well, I hope you took it as a lesson learned. And let me see what else you got here. It says, fact is, she'd been burned by guys prior to me, and I was done trying to earn her trust. I shouldn't have to still get tests like we just met.
Major, I'm going to tell you right now, you do not owe her reparations for guys that you've never even met before and their actions. I mean, first of all, if she even is the victim she claims to be, you do not owe her reparations for her poor decisions in the past. None. None.
All right, nephews, our phone lines are open. We're going to be on for maybe 15 more minutes. What do we got? One more question tonight?
Yeah, so this one's coming from Ron. And so he says, my ex wanted to be friends, and then I initiated no contact. First of all, but let's face it, he's not emailing me because things are going good.
What?
All right. My girlfriend left me because she felt that we were incompatible. She needed to focus on herself. Whoa, we got a company line right there. We had constant small conflicts. Sign number 2, Your Majesty. And she eventually lost feelings. No, my friend. She lost feelings first, and then those things happened. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah!
She said, I really love having you as a friend and genuinely miss your communication. I normally wait until the end of the email, but I'm going to go ahead and translate that to I don't want to have sex with you anymore, but I really need you as a backup in case things going out there, in case getting out there doesn't really go so well.
Bless that
Anyway.
bitch.
Hey, look, you got to hand it to her. She knows how to play the game. So at first, I agreed to still use social media with her, talk at social events, etc. But it was damaging to me, so I decided I needed to start no contact for my own well-being. All right. I don't know her attachment style. Please stop just labeling it as an attachment style. Is she attached to you or not? That's her style. Okay. So if someone could help me understand it, that would be great. She is shy but social, loyal when she was with me, like physically or anyway. Rarely talks about her issues or ours. Makes excuses to get out of relationships, in my opinion, like we're incompatible. That's pretty good reason to get out of a relationship, man. Now, it doesn't really care about boys' relationships or moving on. Confusing, overall quiet. Now that I've gone full no contact, do you think it's possible for someone to regain attraction now that I'm fully gone and no longer in her life? She's also going on a long European trip soon, so she'll be busy for a couple of months. Could this still mean she regrets anything? What are your experiences? These type of people, I'm guessing she's avoidant, because, it's easy to put a label on it instead of be introspective. Come back even when they say they aren't. I hope they do. Ronnie, listen. Okay, so I'm going to hand this over to Uncle Bill after I say this. When you go no contact with somebody, that is not a ploy. That is not a way to close the deal. That is not, and Ronald, look at me. That is not a way to get your ex to come crawling back. I don't want you to look at it as anything other than self-preservation and an opportunity for your mind and your body and your spirit and your heart to have the time and space to decide what's best for you, regardless of what anybody, not only including, but especially her, has to say or think about it. You are going no contact for the wrong reasons. Uncle Bill, please.
Nephew, no contact isn't to get her back. It's to get you back. And this isn't a contact problem. This isn't an attachment style problem. This isn't even a breakup problem. This is an acceptance problem. And I know that's not what you want to hear, because right now you're asking the question every man asks after a breakup. Do you think she'll come back? But that's not the question I care about. The question
Bill, I'm going to take a second. I'm going to take a second to pantomime that. Here's what you're essentially doing. You're going, all right, I'm going no contact. From now on, you'll never hear from me again.
That's not the question I care about. The question I care about is, why does the answer matter so much? Let's be honest. You didn't write in because you're curious. You wrote us because you're hopeful. And hope can be a dangerous thing when it's pointed in the wrong direction. Now, before the chat loses their mind, let me explain. Hope is great when you're building something. Hope is great when you're working towards something. Hope is great when it's attached to your future. But when hope becomes attached to somebody else's decisions, now you're stuck. Now you're waiting. Now your happiness depends on somebody who isn't even participating in your life anymore. And that's exactly where you are.
Which is why I'd like to send a special shout out to Major Blaze right there. Looks like he left her on red. That's what you do.
You're trying to solve tomorrow before you've accepted today.
Or even finished it.
Will she come back? Will she regret it? Is she avoidant? Will no contact work? What will happen after Europe? What if she misses me? What if she changes her mind? Every one of those questions lives in the future. Not one of them improves your life today.
Not a one.
Now, one of them changes reality. And that's why emotional control matters, because emotional control is the ability to stop negotiating with reality. Reality says she left. Reality says she lost feelings. Reality says she ended that relationship. Now, let me ask the chat something, or maybe just Major Blaze here. How many people have you ever spent more time trying to understand what happened than trying to move forward? Let's be honest, because most people do it. They become psychologists. They become relationship historians. They spend months analyzing conversations, looking for clues, looking for hidden meanings, looking for signs. And the entire time, they're avoiding the one thing they don't want to do, and that's accept reality.
Oh, dude. Well, listen, and when they do, that fragile but huge ego takes a hit. And the thing of it is that, guys, don't mistake the word ego for arrogance, because having a big ego doesn't necessarily mean you're arrogant. Having a big ego means that it ain't hard to hit. And just because it's huge doesn't mean it's not fragile. And the thing of it is that we guys, the reason a lot of women get over on us when they do gaslight us, when they do bullshit us, is because our own egos are going to start giving excuses and making the lies up for them. They hardly have to do a gosh damn thing. The minute they start making those bullshit stories, your brain wants to believe it, because God forbid she might want somebody more than you. Or God forbid she's just, in a situation where she's deciding that you're not what she wants anymore. You're no longer compatible, whatever happens to be. That is the last thing you want your mind to believe. So you're going to come up with every excuse you can think of before you finally have to sit your ass down, pour yourself a shot, and say, damn, I guess this is over.
Well, how many people stay stuck because they're looking for one more answer before they'll finally move forward? That's what I see here. Ron thinks one more piece of information is going to free him. It won't, nephew. Acceptance will.
That's it.
How many people you see sit around waiting for motivation before they go to the gym? Waiting. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, in this situation, dude, Ron, I'm just letting you know, if you're going no contact and asking those questions, has she noticed? Do you think she'll come back? The fact of the matter is, you're not truly no contact. You know why you're no contact? She's still living rent free in your head, bro. She is still part of your thought process. She is on your mind probably more than you're on hers at this point. Going no contact every day that she doesn't contact you, but you think about her, is showing that you care more about you going no contact than she does. And you know something? I'm not telling you that so that you can go sit in a corner, rock back and forth and cry, finish a full fifth of whiskey and scream Adele songs to your cat. I'm telling you that because it's time for you to move on. I'm telling you that it's time. I swear I saw that in a meme somewhere, but I'm telling you that it's time to realize that reality has set in. You've read the writing on the wall. It was spelled correctly. It gave you the true story. And you just need to make sure that as you step forward, you don't allow that kind of doubt. You don't allow that kind of feeling, that kind of, even if it's nothing you can articulate. Don't allow that kind of, what do I want to say, atmosphere in your world anymore.
Ron, your healing cannot begin until your hope stops driving. All right. Because right now, hope is keeping you emotionally parked. And nephews, that's the lesson for every one of you watching. Waiting isn't healing. Waiting is emotional parking. You're sitting in the same place pretending you're on a journey. Healing starts when your focus, when your focus returns to your own life, not her future, not her vacation, not her attachment style, your life, your goals, your future. And that's where self-respect enters this conversation. Because self-respect isn't begging reality to change. Self-respect is accepting reality and deciding you'll be okay anyway. And that's the real game. Now let's talk about no contact for a minute, because the internet has absolutely destroyed this concept. Everybody treats no contact like it's some secret Jedi mind trick. Get some strategy, some manipulation tactic. Like if you disappear long enough, she'll suddenly realize you're the love of her life.
Bruh.
No, that is not what no contact's for. No contact is not for getting her back. No contact is for getting you back. That's the lesson. The purpose isn't to make her miss you. The purpose is to stop losing yourself. The purpose is to create enough space that your emotions can settle and your judgment can return. So what's your next move? I'm glad you asked. Stop researching attachment styles. Let's start there. Stop trying to predict her future. Stop looking for signs. Stop trying to decode what she meant. Start building a future that does not require her participation. Whether she comes back or not, that future is still valuable. A lot of men say that they're healing, but they're not healing. They're waiting for a text, waiting for closure, waiting for an apology, waiting for another chance, waiting for reality to become something different. But healing begins the moment you stop waiting and start building. The goal was never to get her back. The goal was to get yourself back. And once you understand that, everything changes. That's emotional control. That's decision making. And that's what accepting the truth actually looks like. Major Blaze says he's glad it's over. Actively
we're glad for you, man.
New opportunities and working to meet new women. Shout out to you, Mr. Blaze. Major Blaze. All right, chat. You guys got anything else? We're going to wrap this up. If you guys aren't going to call in, if there's no other questions tonight. But
as all of you young men should be wrapping it up if you are not ready to be fathers. So, use that head too.
Well, before we get out of here tonight, I want to leave the nephews with one final thought. A lot of men spend years trying to change reality, trying to negotiate with it, trying to explain it away, trying to convince themselves that what they know isn't actually true. But reality doesn't care how you feel about it. Reality just is. And one of the most powerful moments in a man's life is the moment he stops arguing with what is and starts building from where he stands. Because manhood isn't about getting the outcome you wanted. It's about responding correctly to the outcome you got. Anybody can stay disciplined when life's easy. Anybody can make good decisions when the answers are obvious. Anybody can have confidence when everything is going their way. The test comes when it isn't. The test comes when you're disappointed. That test comes when you're betrayed. The test comes when life hands you a reality that you never asked for. And that's where the Conqueror's code lives. Discipline, decision-making, accountability, self-respect, and emotional control. Not because those things make life easier, because those things make you stronger. Your future is built by the standards you keep when nobody's watching. Not the speeches, not the motivation, not the intentions, the standards. Because feelings change, circumstances change, even people change. But a man with standards always knows where he stands. So if life has been testing you lately, good. Pressure reveals weakness. Pressure reveals strengths. It reveals character. Use it. Learn from it. Grow from it. Become stronger because of it. And most importantly, don't do it alone. Thank you for everybody who joined us tonight. Thank you for Johnny. Thank you to Major Blaze, everyone else in the chat, everybody who wrote into Johnny, everybody who shared a piece of their story. This community exists for one reason, to help men become better. So if tonight helped you, hit that like button, share the stream, subscribe, send in your questions for next week. Tell a nephew who needs to hear these lessons. And if you're struggling, if life has you backed into a corner, if you feel like you're carrying the weight of the world by yourself, put SOS in the comments, nephew. We'll come find you. Until next time, keep your standards high, keep your emotions under control, keep building, keep growing, and do everything in your power to become the greatest man your bloodline has ever seen. And we'll see you next week. Until then, go forth and conquer. John, you got anything to say before we wrap this up?
You know, tonight we heard from 3 different warriors fighting 3 different battles. We heard from Frank, whose world is falling apart, and God love him, he's trying to put it back together all by himself. And to him, I would say, soldiers, sometimes it's okay to admit defeat. It's okay to retreat, regroup, and advance with your regiment when you're ready to go again. But that time is not now. That time is, this is a time for recovery. This is a time for self-discovery. And this is a time for, self-love and self-respect. This is a time for you to take an emotional, mental, and spiritual shower, so to speak. Nick, I think you got the right idea. I think you got the wrong approach. I think that people are not genuinely like that. I think that the most important thing you need to remember is that you are going to have a lot of failures that look like they might have been successes. And as long as you don't let that derail you and understand that not only is it a numbers game, but it's also a game of attitude, and it's also a battle that you don't have to fight. You can just kind of coast along with, as long as you understand that you're going to have those ups and downs. You're going to have those victories and defeats. Ron, man, I got to tell you, you live in a world, or at least you feel like you live in a world that you don't want to be in. You don't want to be friend zoned. You don't want to go no contact. And when you do go no contact, you're hoping that it's going to produce a better result with that particular person. Ploys are never going to get you anywhere. Setting a goal, setting a plan to reach that goal, and sticking to that plan. Remember, plan your work and work your plan. And that is only meant to improve you and your life. But then again, she's not going to do it. That's up to you. So all 3 of you guys are going to get a copy of the Johnny Dumbbell Challenge. I expect to hear back from you, because if I don't, I'm going to text you. I'm going to text you or email you in 2 weeks anyway. For the rest of you guys, Thursday is 71 hours away from this very moment. And that's a lot of time for y'all to get in trouble. Now, Uncle Bill and I have got our finances tied into a lot of other things, and unfortunately, we do not have bail money for you. So let's keep the drugs and alcohol to a minimum. But I will say that if you do drink, don't drive. And if you do drive, don't park. Because as we all know, accidents cause people, and that can cost you. So wrap that rascal. Good night.